back in 1946 then, a lot of people died of the hunger. A lot of old people died of the hunger. And then a bad sickness came on the place. TB. A lot of people got TB. One of my own brothers got it. And he died back in 1948. Oh, it was very bad. It was raging that time, TB. TB that time was raging, the Lord save us. Yeah, I seen a house back at home, and I seen 6 funerals coming out within the 1 week. Yeah, died of TB. There was no cure in the world for it that time.
Yes.
Back in 1946. 46 and 47, there was no cure in the world for TB. People died of it. They couldn't cure it. Then a bad flu came on the place. An awful bad flu, and oh, you could call it a bad flu. And my father, God rest him, he used to go down to Mannion's pub, and he'd bring the can with him, and he'd get a can of porter in it. He'd bring it up, and he'd written the poker in the fire, and he'd stick it down into the can of porter. And we'd be all in bed, so we wouldn't be able to stir. We were that sick with the flu. And he'd come up then, and he'd give the younger ones, my younger brothers, he'd give them a half an aspro. And he'd give us then a full aspro. And he'd give us a sup of the porter, a cup of the porter. Well, I'm telling you, it used to bring the sweat out of us. I'm telling you something. You could say it used to cure us. We were able to get up the following day with Jesus and walk around.
Oh, Jesus, great story.
Oh, stop.
Gee. Oh, God.
I'm telling you, he used to cure us. He was a good father to us.
Oh, that's great.
He was strict on us.
Yes.
But he was a good father to us.
Yes. Yes. Mm. My God.
But that time the old people had great cures. Oh, jeez, they had great cures that time, the old people. I knew another man now back at home, and jeez, no matter what would be wrong with you, he could cure you. Poor John Toole, God rest his soul. Go to a tent and he could cure you. Animals or birds or anything.
He had the cure.
Oh, he had the cure. And he knew how to handle them too, and he hadn't a word of education.
Jeez.
Ah, he was a great man, God rest him.
My God. He wasn't the seventh son of a seventh son, was he?
No. And he hadn't a word of education.
My God.
He hadn't a word of education. And because he could do he could cure anything.
Fair play to him. He was a great man to have around in them days.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, good as any doctor today.
Yeah.
Back then.
And sure then, when the tide, a certain time of the year, my father and might be 10 or 15 more in Clifton, they used to go down to the strand, down to the beach, and to get razor fish and cockles and all that kind of thing, and bring them up. And my mother knew how to cook them. We'd eat anything with hunger. And we were damn glad to get them.
So how many did you say was reared into one house?
Oh, there was if all my mother's family lived all together, there between two of us in it.
In the one house?
Yeah.
And how many bedrooms back then would you have?
We had only the 3.
3 bedrooms?
Yeah.
My God, yeah. That was the way old Ireland was back then.
Huh?
That was the way old Ireland was back then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's the way it was that time. And there was another man back there, he used to make his laugh. Before we go to the pictures that time was only 2pence to go in. You know, and he used to come into the shop where we used to go, into poor Miss Stock and God rest her.
Yes.
And he used to get 3pence worth of broken biscuits for the dog. I should have been eating them himself going over the road. They weren't for the dog at all. They were for himself.
Yes.
Oh, stop. But then the lads used to give him an awful time after that. And then we'd be all down the railway field playing. And poor Tommy Milkerton, God rest his soul, Happy they used to call him. He was in America for 2 months. And he came home again from America. And he brought a guitar home with him. And we'd be all down the railway field. And Tommy put us all around in a ring. Sure, we were only all young at the time. He put us all around in a ring. And he'd start singing cowboy songs to us. We didn't know whether they were cowboy songs or not. But my father and mother and all the old people, they used to be at the wall looking down at Tommy Milkerton, you know. And poor Gerd Fox, God rest his soul, he was a grand man. And poor Gerd Milroy, he used to be saying, "Badly slow and full of all yet." You know, Tommy be singing old songs, sure we were full sure they were cowboy songs.
Would he be singing them with an American accent?
Yeah, and he was only 2 months in America.
Oh God. Oh jeez. That's a good one.
I sure he got the name Happy then. And he was happy.
Ah, God help us.
He was a guest man. And then that time, there was another man back there. So they're all dead and gone now, the creatures. Some place, I don't know, was it in Limerick or someplace, started selling crowbeans. And he went down there and he got big wooden barrels. There were big wooden barrels that time. And he got loads of crowbeans. I mean, geez, we were damn glad to get them, to eat them. And he used to get salty hertons and everything like that. Oh, yeah, back in our night.
The kids today wouldn't know what a crewbeam was.
Oh, Jesus. I'd eat them this minute now if I had them. They were lovely.
Yes. Yeah.
Sure. Times was very bad that time.
But they were tough, but they were happy and honest times.
Oh, yeah, they were.
They were honest.
There was no blackguarding, no nothing that time. Nobody would ever do any harm to anyone. You could leave your door open all night.
Yeah.
And nobody would come in or do anything wrong to you. But you won't leave it open now.
No.
I'm telling you.
No, you would not. That time there wasn't much traffic on the road either, was there?
Oh, no. No. Only a horse and cart.
Horse and cart, that's
That's
right.
all.
A horse and cart.
Yeah, that's all my father had, was a horse and cart.
Yeah. And would they come into town much with the horse and carts then, would they?
Well, we lived in the town.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. People come into town in the horse and cart.
From Clifton.
Yeah.
It'd be a long old spin.
From the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we lived right in the town.
Yes.
And some of them was only 3 miles outside the town. 2 miles outside, maybe a mile outside. You know, more of them was further on. Ballyconneely and Orrismore and places like that. You know, that was a good bit out.
Yeah. At that time we said the Gower Market, which is still there, like, but it's a big change, Gower Market at the moment. But that time we said the market was the market you could buy the old butter, homemade butter and the buttermilk.
Yeah, so we used to buy it off of the people at home and the islanders. The islanders that come in with country butter and buttermilk. Jesus, the buttermilk is lovely.
Yeah. And the odd drop of poaching they come in with as well.
Yeah. No, we never seen poaching.
Did you not?
No, we never seen poaching.
Oh,
no.
Jeez, no.
No, we never seen poaching at all.
Oh, God. Oh. And that we say, you know, a good few characters in around town. Did you ever hear of a fella called Shoots?
Oh, yeah, poor old Shoots, yeah. God rest him, yeah.
Why did they call him that?
I don't know, really.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, he was gas.
Yes.
He was only a small little man.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, he was gas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, jeez.
Then there was another fella down on Henry Street. They used to call him Harry Bacon. And I asked Mick here one day, my husband, why used to call him Harry Bacon.
Yeah.
And he said, when he was in there, Mick, that time Mick said they didn't care what way they'd hang up. meat or anything.
Yeah.
Because your damn daddy said to get it. But maybe somebody had exchanged the meat and his place if they didn't see him looking. And he used to say, the other soldiers would say, how do you know that was yours? Because there was more hair on my bacon than was on yours. That's how I know you took mine.
Here, great name.
Huh?
A great name, Harry Bacon.
Harry Bacon, yeah.
Great name.
There were some lovely people here in Galway at that time.
Yeah.
Lovely old people.
Yeah. My God.
Indeed there was. But sure, they're all dead and gone now too, the creatures.
Yes.
Lovely old people in the cled and everything. They were grand. You know, they were real friendly and, you know, there was no hurt or harm in them or anything. No, not a bit. People would tell you then that time, down in Whitehall and down at, what do you call it, at the Spanish Arch was haunted, you know. And several people would tell you that they used to hear the horse and cart going over the bridge at 12:30 and 1 o'clock at night. Well, I knew one man there and he told me. And he said, I'm not cotton. He said he was after leaving his girlfriend home. And that time, he said his mother used to tell him to always walk in the middle of the road. Because the horses' hoofs, from once you walk on the middle of the road, nothing had happened to you. You know?
Yes.
But he said the devil was seen on it.
Yeah.
Several people, he said, seen the devil. But I was coming home one night, he said, I had a few drinks taken. I was after leaving the girlfriend home. And he said, this big dog stood out in the front of me, he said. Well, he said, the fire was coming out of his eyes. And I seen that, he said. And I'm not the only one, he said, that seen it. And that was poor Martin Golden, God rest his soul. He was telling us that. I came over that bridge one night, he said, never walked at all on the middle of the road. I forgot myself, he said, because I had a few drinks taken. And he said, the next thing, this big dog stood out in the front of me. And the big fire, he said, was coming out of his eyes. They say P.C. Green's pub that time was haunted.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. I remember the grandfather telling me years ago that the devil was seen all right back there.
Yeah.
I remember the grandfather always telling me that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, several people will tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I wish you the best of luck, John Loving. I'm looking forward to see you coming home again. And I hope it'll be soon. We all miss you, Loving. And be sure you bring Nancy with you. We're all looking forward to you, Loving, coming home.
You okay?
Yeah.
You happy with that?
Oh, yeah.
That's great. So, Mrs. Folan, we'll say sláinte you, and we'll talk to you again.
With the help of God.
With the help of God, yeah.
And you're quite welcome anytime.
That's great. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for the chat.
That's all right, love.
Well, God
All
bless.
right.